y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today we are going to clean up my craft room. It's not too bad. I've just been filming a few videos and I tend to leave things out in between videos. So we're going to do a little quick cleaning and hope that this inspires you to jump into your craft space and get it all put back together, get it cleaned up, because for me, that is a really inspiring thing to walk into my craft room when it's all clean. It makes me want to dig in and start working again. So let's go. Whenever I post these clean with me videos, I always get people that say, hey, your space does not look nearly as bad as my space. And I get that. I do like my space orderly. Having it in order makes me feel calmer. And when I'm calmer, I can be more creative. So after I end up filming a video and taking pictures for a flat lay, it turns out that I have just a lot of random stuff. I have microphones, I have extra inks, I have all kinds of little supplies, not to mention the supplies that normally sit in my filming area. So it helps me to clear it out. Generally, I have to do this between videos. It just depends on whether I'm going to put the supplies completely away or just move them to the side, depending on how I feel in my creative flow. It's important to know how you like to create. If you want to come back in and not have to pull everything out, then it makes sense to leave some of your supplies out. If you need a fresh slate for some creative inspiration, then make sure to clean up your space between projects. One of the hardest types of cleaning up is when I have completely finished a large project. Generally, I make project bins when I'm working on something that's going to take me more than one session, like if I'm working on a devotional or some longer paced project, then I put together a currently working on bin. And once I finish that project, then it's time to empty that bin, resort those supplies. And I have discovered about myself, if I don't get to it right away, then it tends to kind of build up and I forget I even have those supplies to start with. My daily cleaning up also allows me to do a little bit of destashing. For instance, this drawer that I was just working with was a drawer of Sharpies that kept getting stuck. Well, it turns out it was overfilled with Sharpies and there were plenty that I wasn't even using and haven't used for years. So it was time to destash. Doing these little pockets of destashing really helped me to stay on top of my craft room. Here is one of those project bins that I was telling you about. This one is filled with supplies from the Illustrated Faith Heart Check Kit, along with some other supplies that I pulled from my stash that I thought would go really well with the kit. I'm taking supplies out and now resorting them through the room. I've had a lot of people ask, what do I do with devotionals or project kits after I'm done? I break it apart for its parts and I put the parts away. So the washi tape goes with the rest of the washi tape. The stamps go with the rest of the stamps. I divide up all of the ephemera and I put it away as well. This allows me the space to get ready for future projects or upcoming projects. So for instance, I was inspired by this brown paper bag as soon as I was pulling it out, and I know I want to use it in a future project. So we're gonna do more current supplies back in this bin. It goes in a drawer at my desk. It's ready to pull out and work on as soon as I'm ready to start the new project. For paper pieces, as soon as I've worked with a set of paper pieces for a while, I've used a lot of the different pieces, then I will break apart a set. When I buy a collection, for instance, the Let's Get Crafty line from Kelly Bangs, I'm going to keep those pieces together for a good long while and break them apart later on. This is a bunch of ephemera from Illustrated Faith that I had left over from the last kit. So I'm going to divide it by color, except for florals, which all go in their same category. And then I will sort these into my ephemera drawer. That way I have them available to use for other projects. If a piece is really specific and I'm not sure that I will use it, then I'll probably end up adding it to a destash pile. It has been really helpful for me to find bins that contain my supplies in smaller sections. So I have all of these bins that are from Target, and you can see how I divide my ephemera by color. Keeping it in these smaller containers lets me know when it's time for a destash. When these are overflowing, when there's way too much for me to even dig through, then I know it's time that I need to clean them out and really just focus on using the pieces that I want to use. My craft room is my office. It's where I spend most of my day and it collects all kinds of random things. There's a ton of dish towels, there's dishes, there's coffee cups, all kinds of things. When I am cleaning and I have products or items that don't belong in the craft room, I generally don't go put them away right away. I set them right outside my craft room door so that I can walk later on and put them away where they belong. But that way I can stay in the craft room and stay focused on what I'm doing. Because if I start wandering around the house to put other things away, I'll probably start cleaning up those areas as well and get distracted really easily. It helps immensely that in my craft room, everything has a place. And the only time I struggle is when I do get new supplies and I don't exactly know where they go. So sometimes they stay in piles on my desk for a little while as I'm waiting to either work with them or figure out exactly what I want to do with them. Oftentimes, I even have them in packages, and you can see it's time to take them out of their package, put them where they belong. That was a set of pens. There's a couple new planners and post-it notes, and I just want to make sure I'm thoughtfully putting them somewhere and not just shoving them where they fit, which is definitely something that I think we've all been guilty of. Getting something new and then kind of forgetting about it because we just shove it somewhere where we think it might go. It's time to really focus on getting things in the right place. As I'm cleaning, I also tend to work around my room instead of jumping from section to section. So I start in one area. This time it was in my filming desk, and then I kind of work around the room clockwise. That makes it easier for me to not miss anything. If I'm jumping around, a lot of times I'll leave an item out that I just didn't notice because I got distracted by something else. And it's kind of how I clean all of the rooms in my house when I'm straightening things and putting things away. Start from one end of the room and kind of work your way across the room. And it's really an orderly, really functional way to make sure that nothing is kind of escaping your grasp. And even though it's just me and my dog Penny that hang out in here, I do like to straighten up my couch, fluff the pillows, refold the blanket, and I just like that fresh feeling. I know Penny will be right back in here to mess it all up again, but that's okay. I think she enjoys the fluffed pillows as well. And then the last few things are getting put away, new sticker books, a few other odds and ends, just as I'm working my way back to where I started in the room, just making sure everything looks straightened, and I'll be ready to start a new project or go to a meeting. There's all kinds of things that I'm inspired to do when I'm able to walk back into my craft room and it feels fresh and clean and straightened. All right, so that's it. It took me about 15 to 20 minutes real time to get my room all straightened up. I left my business planner out. I'm about to have a business meeting, so I actually feel much calmer going into the meeting now that things are put away. I even still have other projects, and so sometimes cleaning up even midday helps me get a boost and get my energy going and my creative energy going so that I can start to film, to create once again. So I hope this inspired you to work on your space. If you're interested, over in my Patreon group, we are doing an organization challenge for the month of June. There's prompts, there's weekly challenges, there's all kinds of fun stuff going on. So if you're interested, head over to that link in my description box. It will tell you all about Patreon. It's just a great way to support your favorite creators, and it's not too late to join us for our challenge. All right, I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.